All right, Buck, let's do a little Scouts take here on Geno Smith. This is a situation where the Seattle Seahawks make the trade. They get a huge haul for Russell Wilson. We've talked a lot about Russell Wilson and why it hasn't worked out so far with the Denver Broncos. But, man, Geno Smith has played great ball for the Seahawks. They've been explosive. You kind of pull up his numbers and look what he's done this year. Over 1,300 passing yards, completing 75% of his passes, 9 touchdowns, 2 picks. To put that in perspective, he's on pace for over 4,400 yards, 31 touchdowns, and 7 picks if he keeps this up going through the season. So, first of all, let's go in the time machine and go back, because I think people forget, because Geno's had these stops along the way, of what we thought of him when he was coming into the draft. I believe we were both on the same page. He was the best quarterback in that draft, that 2013 draft, which was kind of an ugly draft.
It was an ugly draft because E.J. Manuel, I want to say, was the first quarterback that was eventually taken. Geno Smith was really up and down just because people didn't know whether to attribute his success to Dana Holgerson's system at West Virginia, where he had Tavon Austin, Stedman Bailey. Those guys were out there making a ton of plays. But when you look at his career, in New York, I don't know if he necessarily got a fair shake. You remember he got punched. And so that impacted his last season with the Jets. And then he's been on a mission as a journeyman from that point on. But now in Seattle, he's finally getting the opportunity to really start. And he's starting in a system that we've talked about, DJ. This system is the best system for quarterbacks because it's really user-friendly. Geno stepped in. He's commanded the offense. He's shown the restraint to make sure that he's always taking care of the ball. And when you take care of the ball with the weapons that the Seattle Seahawks have on the outside, Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf are absolute studs. And so when you're able to run the ball a little bit like the Seahawks have been able to do, they've been able to make big plays. So yeah, Geno Smith's playing great. He has a nice supporting cast, and we're seeing him realize maybe some of the potential that he displayed when he was at West Virginia.
Yeah, I went back and looked at my notes. You know, my comp for him at the time, Buck, was Alex Smith. And you think about their careers, there are some similarities there. Alex Smith, obviously the first overall pick. They both were the first quarterback in their draft class. Alex Smith, he got out of San Francisco. He got to Kansas City at age 29. So at age 29, he goes with the Chiefs, and that's when he puts up, 5 really good years. He gave the Chiefs 5 good years before handing the baton to Patrick Mahomes. So this is a situation. Geno's a little bit older. He's 32 years old. But Alex Smith, and you remember we both were in scouting at that time, was really young coming into the league. So a similar situation at this point in time, landing in the right spot, getting the right opportunity. There's never been a doubt about his ability to throw the football. I mean, he can make every type of throw. And when you go back and watch all their, I went back and watched all their explosives and big plays. I mean, he's ripping seam balls. He's extending plays, keeping his eyes up. He looks very comfortable in this system, very poised. And one of the things you notice with him is he does a great job of getting his cleats in the ground. He settles and he's able to drive the ball from his lower half. And when you got somebody like DK Metcalf that you trust, you feel good about fitting balls in tight windows.
Yeah, fitting balls in tight windows. He does have a nice supporting cast around him. You saw the passer rating at 113.2. That's incredible efficiency for a quarterback. But he's also, this dude is completing like well over 75% of his passes, doing a great job getting the ball to the playmakers. And what I love about it in this offense, he knows when to push the envelope. He also knows when to scale it back. He is playing what Pete Carroll will call winning football, where it's not necessarily about your own individual accolades and statistics. It's about managing the game, making sure you avoid the turnover, getting your offense in the right play, and then when the plays are there to be made, you cash in on those lottery tickets. Geno Smith has been doing it. So far, so good for the Seahawks.
Yeah, we'll see if he can keep this up. But they have a nice collection of weapons. I think they've done a good job of adding some pieces to that offensive line. The defense is nowhere near what the defense used to be in Seattle, but now they're going to have all these extra resources. You look at next year, they can get that defense flipped quick. They can get some big-time impact players. And Tariq Woolen's done a nice job for them, the rookie. They have a couple nice pieces there. But, man, they could really, really put some juice in that front seven with all these extra picks they got courtesy of Russell Wilson, who has to make them feel good, has not played well. So they're looking like the big winners in that trade so far. All right, we're going to come back. We take a little break. We're going to come back and talk about the New York Jets. We've talked a little bit about them in previous episodes. We're going to really do a deep dive on where this organization is and where they're headed right after this.